Hey everyone and welcome to the video. So today we're going to be discussing the last segment I want to do in these mini scale reviews, and the rest of it is going to be left for full scale reviews, and that is going to be the map. So the map is arguably one of the most important features in gaming as a whole. A bad game can be saved by a good map, and a good game can't be saved by a bad map. I feel that a bad map can really just kill a game in its entirety. To me at least, it's the number one factor I look at when going into a game. It's what makes it. I can handle bad combat, I can handle bad story, as long as the map is good, is what I'm saying. And, luckily, I quite like this map. So, I'm going to just discuss a few positives and a couple negatives about this map and give my overall verdict on how I feel about it. And then, as I said, everything else I haven't discussed in these mini reviews is going to go into a full scale one. So, let's get started. The map, overall, seems pretty good. I like it. It's very vibrant, it's very sunny, and the vibe it's got going for it is something Saints Row has never done before, and that is something I like. I like new and fresh experiences, and it's something I don't seem to be getting bored of. Its map also varies in districts, and I feel like you always know where you are on a map, and you always know what segment of the map you're in, and where you're going to go. I feel like it'll be a map I am able to learn pretty easily because of just how defining certain districts are. It's really good for the most part, and I like it. As well as the map being semi-customizable with certain ventures, you can really tailor it to be even better to your liking, obviously in small ways, but still, it's a nice and welcomed feature. The map, as I said, is really vibrant and it doesn't get boring. Steelport is arguably one of the worst maps I've played in gaming, and again, it's a game I like for the most part. You know, Saints Row 4 is a cool game, Saints Row 3 is a cool game. The map sucks, and it's the number one reason I dislike it. And I really think that this map goes for a new direction and brings back some of what made Saints Row 2's map and Saints Row 1's map so special back in the day with Saints Row. It's definitely the right direction to go for map design, and personally it's something I really enjoy. And I, again, have said this a lot, it's the strongest feature I feel about this game. So, there is a few issues with this though. Lack of interiors really sucks. I imagine there's a reason for this. I don't know what it is, but I did they would just miss out on this many interiors. But man, there are so many fantastic buildings I can't wait to explore and go into, and I just can't. Luckily, I do think it's semi-saved partially by how explorable the map is and how many cool secrets there are. There's plenty of Easter eggs in this game, lots of really cool ones too, and I'd say it's definitely got some of the best in the series, if not the best in the series. So, you know, the map's exploring is fun and saved by the fact there's plenty to do on the map outside of interiors, but I feel like if you added some interiors, you get some much needed added depth. And I think that what people want in Saints Row is to just have an experience they can keep finding new things with. That's how it was with Saints Row 2 for me. You always discovered something new and fun, and it's what I like about that game so much. And it's games like Skyrim where, you know, I know it's not Saints Row, but it's that whole exploration feature of, oh my god, I just found this really cool thing that keeps me going back to it every 6 months. I always find something new, and I love that. But the issue for me with this map, again, is its interiors are just a bit lacking, and it's something I think could be saved in perhaps any sort of patches if they decide to do it in the future. The other downside would be the NPCs. They're just boring. They're not awful, they're okay, but they're pretty boring. You can't rob them, which is something I kind of wish would come back. And they just react kind of limited. But what I will say is there are some fun moments you can have with the NPCs, and there's lots of times you come across NPCs doing something that I think is pretty cool. One part I like is there's a section on the map where there's a little band playing, and it's really small, but it's nice to see a bit of liveliness going on for the game, and seeing NPCs playing in this little band, it's just pretty cool in my opinion, and I think it's something I definitely like. I will have to say that the NPCs, whilst not being the worst thing in the world, they are just quite limited, and that's basically one of the last complaints I have for the map. Driving around Santo Ileso is absolutely beautiful. It's undeniably one of the best maps in gaming for me. It goes very much down my alley though, so I'm not sure if everyone else will feel this way. But the map to me is right where I want it. A really cool desert to explore with a nice city to get away from that desert if I'm bored. It's a reason I like the GTA 5 map relatively, although I'd say this map is actually better and more interesting to me, at least currently. And I feel like the map is definitely one of the highlights. The lighting for this game is good as well, and I think as many people who like to complain about the graphics, there is no denying that the map is gorgeous. It's beautiful, man. And I think that if you hop on this game, even to just have a drive around, you'll have fun in Santo Ileso. It's something I do quite regularly. A lot of the time when I'm just kind of bored and I'm just doing nothing, I'll hop on Saints Row, and instead of maybe doing a mission or an activity and I'm just a bit, you know, preoccupied, I'll be like, fuck it. I'll drive around, and I mean, if you watch any of my streams, you see me just doing a lot of times just driving around in a talking and having fun and listening to music and whatnot, and it's something I really enjoy. Again, I've said this before, but it's reminiscent of the Forza series and how in Forza I can just hop on and want to drive around just to see the sights, and it's pretty cool. And Santo Ileso definitely brings in some sights that I'm glad are there. I will have to say that this map to me is pretty strong. I easily like it over every other map in the series, except for maybe Saints Row 2 Stillwater on certain features. I think as a whole, I like it more than Saints Row 2's map, but the lack of interiors is a bit of a bummer, and the NPCs were really good in that game. But with Saints Row 2, it has this awful tone to it, and I just don't really like it that much, sadly. And if you're wondering what I mean by tone, I'm talking that sort of like grey effect that the game has. Now, there are certain moments where the weather picks up in that game and it's definitely beautiful, but I have to say I much prefer Santo Ileso's vibrance over Stillwater's. And its general layout, I think I probably prefer Santo Ileso too, but it might be too early to say that. Either way, I'd say these maps are pretty on par with each other, you know, some faltering in areas, the others exceeding, and I have to say they probably score around the same for me. When it comes to gaming, I really like Santo Ileso, and I think that with a couple tweaks and fine-tuning, this could easily be one of my favourite maps in gaming. In fact, it probably already is. I really like it, and I think that, you know, maybe if the NPCs are a bit smarter and a bit more frequent as well, and the variety was a bit more, and there were some cooler moments with them, and perhaps if there was a couple interiors opened up so there's a bit of exploring to do alongside all the other exploring, I'd rank it a 10. But sadly, I don't know if I can do that with the current state, but that does not mean I'm ranking it low whatsoever. I think the map's gorgeous, and I think it's easily one of the best maps in the series, if not the best. So for that, I'm gonna rank it a solid 9. I have to say, it's good. I really like it. Santo Ileso is beautiful, and I think that if you hop on, that will be the #1 shining factor for you. If it wasn't for perhaps the streets feeling a little empty from time to time, interiors being a little lacking, and you know, just NPCs being a bit boring from time to time, these three things really do take away just a little bit from the map. But overall, it's a pretty gorgeous map, and it's definitely a very nice, beautiful sandbox to have your Saints Row game in. And I think if they can improve on those three features, more peds, more interiors, and have the peds do some cool, interesting stuff, like be able to be robbed and stuff, I feel like the game would just really be more polished. And essentially, I think given another month of work time on this map, it could have been beautiful and perfect. But yeah, I think that's where I'm going to end it. I really liked Santo Ileso, and I know you guys do too, so I hope you don't mind my ranking at a 9. I know it's pretty high, but honestly, it's pretty much everything I look for in a Saints Row map, minus a couple things that aren't there. So, you know, no real complaints from me. Definitely the strongest feature of the game for me, and I absolutely loved it. But anyway, we're now going to leave off on this quick note here. So, the full scale review is going to be pretty long, and it's on its way. That is where I'm going to have my overall ranking from the game. Now, I don't know if my score is going to shock people, because I think I've got a pretty decent idea of what I want to rank this game score-wise out of 10. And I think it might shock some people, and I think it might please some people. It just depends who you are and how you feel about the game. I'm hoping that people take it the right way and understand that, you know, any criticism I give the game is from a place of love, and, you know, any praise I give it is from a place of love also. I love this game, and I love this franchise, and, you know, anything I do, whether it's negative or positive, is just trying to better it as much as I can. So yeah, thank you all for watching, guys. I hope you had a fantastic day, and I hope you enjoyed this video. See you soon.